Hello and welcome to Achieve's Tried This. My name is Tony and this channel is all about photography and video equipment and process reviews. If you like what you see, then please subscribe by tapping the subscribe button below, and please feel free to leave a comment and get talking about what you see and share your experiences with us all. This video review is going to be about the Ghost S HD action camera by Drift Innovations, as this is something that I use quite a lot of, and I wanted to share this fantastic little camera with you guys. So let's get into the review. This is the Drift Ghost S HD action camera from Drift Innovations, and this is their flagship model at the moment. As you can see, the camera is a nice size and nice shape action camera with like a rubber feel to the whole body. Now, starting at the front of the camera, there's a removable lens cover which protects the lens, and this can be rotated 300 degrees, so no matter where you mount this camera, you're always able to get a straight picture. Now, coming across to the top of the camera, you've got your power mode switch, you've got your 2 directional buttons, and you've also got a menu button. At the back of the camera, it comes with like a little screw-on cover, and this has got access to a micro USB and a 3.5mm external mic port. If you unscrew this cover and take it off, you can then get access to the removable battery compartment, the micro SD and the micro HDMI port, and also the other 2 ports that I mentioned earlier. At the side, you've got the internal noise reducing microphone, and this is also sealed within the camera, so it does enable the camera to be waterproof up to 3 meters. On the same side, you've also got your mounting bracket screw. Now, this is where you can connect your quick clip, which mine's currently on my waterproof case, and then you're able to use this by clipping it into the brackets that's provided with the camera, so you can connect it to either a flat surface or a curved surface. Then as you look around to the front, you've got quite a large colour 2-inch LCD display screen, and this is protected by Gorilla Glass. Now, recording modes are 720p to 1080p with frame rates of 25 frames per second to 120 frames per second. On 720p you can record up to 120 frames, on 1080p it's 60 frames. There's also a WVGA mode which you can record up to 240 frames per second. But for best quality, I would stick with the 1080p at 30 frames per second, as this will give you the sharpest and clearest picture. Field of view options are 90, 127 and 160 degrees. However, I would just leave it on 160 degrees, as if you drop it down to the others, it's a bit like a digital crop, so you are going to get a drop off on resolution. There are a bunch of different modes with this camera, like video mode, photo mode, which you can choose between 5, 8 and 12 megapixels. There's a time-lapse mode and also a photo burst mode. There's a bunch of other options as well with this camera. If you go into the menu, which you can set the time, the date, the microphone sensitivity, the speaker volume, screen brightness, and even the language. Now, there is a digital zoom on this camera. However, remember, digital zooms are pants. So I wouldn't even bother with this, as you are guaranteed to get a loss of picture quality. A typical battery will last you around 211 minutes in 1080p shooting at 30 frames per second, and about 175 minutes at 60 frames per second. Now, I'm not going to go through all of the data, mostly because you'll probably be shooting in 1080p anyway, but I will list a link below which you can click and you can view all of the information to your heart's content. Now, there is one cool feature that I haven't tried yet, but I do want to give it a go, which is called the clone mode. Now, this is where you can connect up to 5 Drift cameras together over Wi-Fi, where they all communicate and give you a synchronous recording and mode changing. So if anybody from Drift is watching and you want to loan me some cameras, please feel free to contact me, because I would love to try this out and make a video of it. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this camera does have Wi-Fi, so you can connect this to a smartphone using the apps which you can download from Play Store and Apple. So you've seen the camera, I've gone through some of the controls and some of the options, but what does it actually look like out on the road? What's the quality of the video like? What about the external microphone? Is that really any good? Well, earlier on, I took this out for a ride on my motorbike, so let's go over to that footage now, and I'll see you in a moment.
I'm currently recording in 1080p at 30 frames per second. I've got the Drift external microphone plugged in, which is routed to the front of my crash helmet. Now, whether you're picking up a lot of wind noise or not, I don't know, because it's the first time I've actually fitted it. In my opinion, I think the Drift action cameras are the best looking action cameras if you're trying to be a little bit discreet. Although they are quite big cameras still, they don't stick out like a sore thumb like the GoPros and other action cameras do. They actually don't look too bad on the side of a crash helmet. Now, I've had Drift cameras since, God, one of the first ones, which was the Drift 170. It was an orange and black camera, and then it went on to the Drift HD, and then the Drift Ghost. Now, I've also got a Drift Stealth 2, which is a very small little action camera, but you can't plug in an external microphone with that, which I'm really gutted about. So if Drift are going to make a Stealth 3, please add an external microphone point, and I would happily buy that all day long. So this Drift Ghost SHD, it can capture videos and photos. You can do a time-lapse photo. You can change the settings. I think the megapixels is something like 8 megapixel for the camera, and it's not bad at taking photos, but if you're going to take photos, buy an actual camera. But the cameras are usable for video footage and stuff like that, so yeah, okay, great. But as for an actual camera, then yeah, buy a DSLR or something like that. You've got an external battery, so the external battery, I think you can last up to about 5 hours. Obviously it can do a bit longer depending on your resolution that you're recording in. With any action camera, I would say try and buy the best quality SD card that you can get with the fastest meg speed. So I'm currently using a SanDisk Extreme, I think it's a 3, and it's a 64 gig. So I've got plenty of storage on that. In the back of the actual camera itself, you've got an external microphone socket, so you can buy aftermarket microphones which will plug in, unlike some other action cameras where you have to buy their own brand, otherwise they won't work. You've got a mini HDMI port, so you can connect it straight to a laptop for faster downloads, and you've got your mini USB port, big puddle, for charging the camera as well. Now, if you're like me, I probably would buy an external battery charger and a couple of batteries, just because they are cheap on eBay, and there's nothing like going on a journey and actually running out of battery. Oh, it looks pretty shit up here.
So hello and welcome back. As you see, the quality is very good and the external microphone is also just as impressive, and it's got great noise reduction. As with most action cameras, there are different mounts that you can get to mount this wherever you want to put it. So it's not just for a motorbike, it's also for a car, a bicycle, a train, wherever you want to go with this camera, there are options that you can use to mount this camera. Another good feature with this as well, you can use a wireless microphone with the Drift Ghost S. So it can be used as a second camera on projects, and your subject doesn't even need to be near the camera. So I hope this video has helped you out in some way, and if you like this video, then please give me a like and leave a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe, and you can do this by hitting the subscribe button below. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook, and you can also subscribe to our website, which is at www.jeevestradethis.com. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you soon.